Well, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I haven't said that in a long time. It's been a minute since I said that, guys. What's up, video land? I'm talking to Facebook, Instagram, podcasts. I'm talking to everybody in video land. It is Friday, and I want to call this Freedom Friday, y'all. Freedom Friday. You know why I want to call it Freedom Friday, guys? Is because, freedom ain't free. I don't know if you all realize that, but freedom is rarely free. It's never free. And I am a coach. I am a business development coach / people want me to be a life coach. I don't really classify myself as that, but in order to get your business going, I also got to help you with your life. That's just inevitable, right? The biggest thing that I have a struggle with is people wanting to do different, have different, be different, but they don't want to change. They don't want to change nothing. And I have talked to endless people, guys, and it never gets old, and I'm always trying to find a way to get through to people that are a little more stubborn than others. And I just want to talk to you all a little bit about what it means really to be free. Now, let me tell you where this was inspired from. This was inspired by my endless conversations with people that have known me for quite some time and people that have kind of seen my walk a little bit. They've seen my struggles, maybe not all the way in it, know all the details, but they've seen a little bit. And I have people ask me on a regular basis, what did you do to shift? What did you do to change your life? What did you do to literally just make everything different? And so it's interesting because I'm a person, as some of you all have heard me say on these lives, I just keep it moving. I don't cry about it, and if I cry, I don't cry too long, but I just keep it moving. That's all I do. I just keep it moving. But let me tell you what it has forced me to do, which is a good thing. Last year, September 3rd, this is when it all started. I did a video that I did not want to do, but God kept putting it on my heart to give these people just a snippet, because for some reason they think you always had it figured out, and that is so far from the truth, or as Bart Simpson says, au contraire, mon frere. So God put it on my heart, and I really didn't want to do it, y'all, because this is Facebook or YouTube. I'm streaming through multiple channels here. It's not my cyber diary. That's not really what I use it for. My focus is to use it more to help you all, not so much to vent. So it had been put on my heart. For those of you all that seen the video, it was called Why You Can't Check Out or something like that. And I did it last year, and this is what spearheaded this. And it was about me giving people a snip into what I had to go through in order to get to the place that I am now and beyond. And I did the video, guys, and I started off, I planned it to only be about 30 minutes, and it ended up being an hour and some change. And the thing that was amazing about that video, guys, is I think I cried like a baby. I know I did. When I got off, I cried like crazy. And I think I cried because I didn't really process all the things that I had to actually work through and figure out. Me and God, it was me and God. That's what I tell people. We had to figure this thing out. But what happened in that freedom feeling, because I was free. I was already free in my mind. But I think when I spoke it, I actually got free for real. I literally felt like a bag of bricks had been lifted off of me, and it was because I went through it, but I didn't break down the process of how did I actually do this to that, to that, to this, to what was the process. So that started this cycle. Some of you all told me that was what made you start watching me, was that you saw that video. And if anybody's interested, I did keep the video. Just put in the feed that you're interested, or you can text me at 800-580-8074 and say, send me the video. I'll happily send it to you to give you a little snippet. And I wanted to, basically that spearheaded this whole conversation of people constantly asking me, I don't care where I go, if they've seen my video, they're like, how did you do it? In some form of that question, how did you do it? So I made a decision, guys, to not only write down and actually track and process how I did it. I'm actually going to deliver that. I have a At my Salon Owner Strategies Conference, which is the end of this year's November 9th through 11th, I'll talk about that later. I have a segment. I'm going to do a sit-down dinner, and it's going to be a 4-hour segment, and it is called Nikki Transparent. And for those of you all that may have heard that video, y'all ain't heard nothing. That was just a snip of what I really had to process and what I really had to endure to get from there to here. I'm going to talk to you about how talking from the money part to, it's everything. So, and I'm going to live stream that. I know everybody's not coming to the conference. That's fine. If you want to get that video, it's going to be $99, like 4 hours. I'm going to live stream it, and I ain't going to hold nothing back. And I'm going to break down everything I did to get from one place to the other. But let me talk to you about that. So if you all are interested, text me 1-800-580-8074. I will send you the link. Okay, because that's 4 hours. It's face to face. It's gonna be way more than what you got in that video. But let's talk about freedom. And let me tell you the thing that I 100% realized in the depths of my depression and despair and just trying to figure it out. How did I even get here? How many of you all have felt that way? Like, God, how did I even get here? You in such a jacked up situation, you don't even know how you got there. You like, how did it end up here? And I remember feeling that like real bad, guys. And let me tell you what I learned in that cycle. I learned to really be free. I don't care what you want freedom from. I'm talking about free from debt, free, people free. I don't care what you want to be free from. It is going to cost you something, and it's going to cost way more than you ever thought you was going to pay for freedom. Let me give you a couple areas that I know I needed to be free, and I focused on some of the things. And I'm gonna get specific. If you live stream or if you come into the conference, you can actually come to this segment. But comfort. Let me give you the 5. Let me see, 6. It's 6 in a row. The things that I realized I had to give up to be free. I had to give up comfort. I had to give up my image. I had to give up my position. I had to give up money. I had to give up relationships. And I had to do all of this, it's 5 actually, so that I can be at peace. So that I can literally have the mental clarity to be able to move my life forward. So let me just break down generally the things I had to give up. When I talk about comfort, y'all, I had to give up even where I lived. I had to get that up. Where I live was hindering me in more ways than one. Where I live had people in it that were not conducive to where I was trying to go. Where I lived, I don't care if it's the neighborhood you live in, if it's the environment you live in. I mean, physical living is what I had to do. I had to move, literally. I tell people, if you're trying to progress or be free in your business and you in a shop and the energy in there is bad and the people in there are negative or it's just got the wrong vibe, I don't care what it is. Comfort, yeah, I've been here for a while, but if you have to physically relocate yourself, then that's what you got to do. That means you got to give up comfort. That means sometimes if the clients don't want to come where you going, that means you may have to give up some of that. Comfort was one of the first things that I realized quickly that I had to give up. I had to give up certain comforts. I just couldn't have them anymore. I had to be uncomfortable to be free. And that's something a lot of you all ain't willing to do. You get stuck and you're like, but I'm used to these people. I don't care what you used to. I don't care who you used to. When you want to be free, your physical comfort sometimes is the one thing that you're going to have to give up. You just are. All right? And then let me go in, and I'm going to break that down even more. If you live stream it, it's called Nikki Transparent. I'll be doing it in November. I'm going to give you specifics as to what I did. But then let's go to the next one. Let's talk about image. Y'all, I had to, that image thing, now I see that killing a whole lot of us. That image thing, we're trying to look like something you're not, trying to wear the finest clothes, and you can't really afford to get your hair done no more, your nails done, or your feet done, or you can't afford to even buy the type of makeup you once had. You maybe got to go from an expensive brand to maybe MAC, to maybe Walgreens, You got that image, that buying stuff that you can't afford, that looking like you got it all together, talking about I don't want to wear the same thing to the same place. They seen me in this already. Let me tell you something. You're going to have to get that up. If you really want to be free in certain areas of your life, if you cannot afford to maintain that image, that means if the car you driving, you can't afford the maintenance, you can't afford the insurance, you can't afford none of that, you living in an apartment or a house that costs too much, give it up, sell it. There have been some times that I've told people, and I don't believe you should go to this extreme unless you got to, but sometimes it calls for it. If you in a place and you realize you bit off more than you can chew, I can't pay this no more, sometimes you got to walk away. That's right. Sometimes you got to say, God, I don't feel good about this, but I can't pay this lease no more. I did this because I like this neighborhood, seemed to represent something, and this house and where my business is, it made me feel like I had arrived, but you can't afford it. Sometimes, y'all, I done lost houses, cars, businesses. I done lost all that. To be free, sometimes you got to walk away. Freedom is going to cost you. Freedom ain't free. And that means don't beat yourself in the head if you make a mistake. Just don't keep making the same mistakes. But freedom is not free. And getting caught up in this image, you walking around here, this is what I want to challenge every woman to do. Until you can buy a real bag, I mean a real one. I mean until you can buy a real Louis, a real Gucci, a real Prada, or a case, I don't care who makes the bag. Until you can buy a real one, stop fronting buying knockoffs. Because what you're doing is you're trying to give off an image that ain't real. You want to buy Louis. Because I used to sell bootleg bags. So I ain't telling y'all something I don't know. I used to sell them for years. I used to go to New York, down in them underground tunnels, and get these bags in these places that look like at any moment you can get robbed, raped, sold to the sex trade. I'm talking about I used to go in places like that. Buy this stuff, flip it, sell it. I done ran from marshals who confiscate all that stuff. I have done all of that. If you want to be free for real, if you can't go in Prada, in Gucci, in Louis, and you got the equal amount of money times 2 or 10 in your bank account to buy that bag, then you frontin'. You frontin', period. If your bag costs as much, or you can times 2, and that's what your rent costs, your mortgage costs, you front, period. And I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing people, we out here trying to look like we something that we not, and at the end of the day, when you come home and you got all these bags and red bottom shoes, I ain't got no problem. I like nice stuff too. I ain't got no problem with people spending money on nothing, as long as it's real. As long as you ain't fronting, because I was once a contributor to the fronting. I stopped. I used to sell bootleg movies. I used to sell bootleg bags. I did all that, y'all. I said, I'm just contributing to the madness, because these people run out here trying to buy all these bags, and then they got nerve enough to say, well, it looks real. Does it have a tag in it that looks real? It don't matter. If you are out here and you are too busy trying to front in cars that you can't even afford the maintenance. I done had every luxury car there is, and I drive a 2010 paid for, no note, low insurance, town and country Chrysler, and I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, because I don't want to pay $200-300 no more for no oil. I done had Rover, Benz, I done had all of that. And I actually can't afford it, but you know what? I want my money. I want to see the money grow. I'm like Warren Buffett. I ain't there yet, but I want to see the money grow in the bank. I ain't trying to impress nobody no more. That image will keep you bound. That stuff will keep you where you ain't never free. And I know it's hard. It's hard when you got kids out here and they trying to keep up with what's on TV, and you don't want the kids to be picked on and left out. My thing is, it's something in the middle. You ain't got to go all the way to $1,000 pair of shoes. Buy something in the middle. That's not the middle. So image will keep you bound. You out here trying to perpetrate and not trying to really be what you look like. I'm telling you, it will keep you bound. It'll keep you in the red. It'll keep you there. All right? And I'm going to break down Some of the stuff, y'all want this? Hey, y'all want this video? I'm telling you, I'm alive it, and I ain't gonna spare nothing. I've been trying to write every day thing down so I can remember all the madness that I did trying to keep this image and to keep these comforts. Man, you can have all of that. So let's talk about another one. Let's talk about position. Let's talk about position. I have more people than I can count that literally own these shops. I got people that tell me they love to say I own this, I own that, I own this and that, and I'm partnered with this and that, and ain't none of it working. All of it's in the red. Ain't none of it producing nothing. Not a profit, not good people coming out of it, not nothing. Let me tell you something. If you got that ego issue where you just like saying you the boss, and you like, can somebody tell me really what that means? You know, when I hear that word, I'm like, what does that mean? I'm a boss. What does that mean? But that's a whole nother conversation. When you got the position and you in charge, and some of us just like being the ones to say, this is my stuff, I run this, but ain't none of it working. You're literally robbing Peter to pay Paul to keep up with it. You're losing everything, houses, cars, all that, trying to maintain this position. And that's also part of that image thing. Let it go. You know how many salon owners I coach that I done told them, let the salon go. Let it go. Get yourself together and start over. And do it right this time. Ain't no need of you trying to hold on to this. Sell that furniture, put it on Let Go, Facebook market. I don't care where you put it. Put a sign on the door. Everything inside of here for sale. Let it go and start over. Sometimes when we get too far behind the 8 ball, ain't no fixing. It ain't no way to fix it. All you can do is say, look, let me just and that is not a failure in a negative sense. That is what you call smart. That is using wisdom. That is cutting things off before you get to the point that you hit rock bottom. That is being smart. I wish you all would really, the people that you admire, that in you all's minds are successful, I wish you all would go back, buy their books, read their biographies, find out about the things that they did. Man, that is not a cliche, guys. They lost 100 things before they actually really succeeded at one. The difference is they were always willing to give up whatever was needed in order to be free and to be free to move in the direction that they need to move. If y'all got some partners and it ain't working, I don't care if the partner is your mama, your sister, your husband. I don't care what it is. Let it go. Period. If that position is keeping you bound, let it go. Freedom ain't free. That's all I can tell y'all. Freedom is going to cost y'all, okay? Then let's talk about money. Now listen to this, y'all. Now I teach money classes. I teach financial management. I'm going to explain to you all. I can't even understand how I got in that position, because I used to be so raggedy with money, y'all, and God saw fit to let me go through some stuff. Let me feel it. Him and me together, we figured this thing out, and then I became not only good with money, but I actually loved it, guys. I love understanding and challenging myself and literally helping others understand how money moves, what it does do, what it doesn't do. It's like my second passion, I call it, to loving hair. I love it, guys. So God saw fit for me to go in that direction. But let me tell you what I had to do. In order to get in that place where I was free when it came to money, when it came to debt, I had to embrace something called lifestyle deflation. Y'all hear what I said? Not inflation. I had to do lifestyle deflation. I had to learn how to say the word no. I don't need it. I don't even really want it. I had to learn the word no. I had to say, you know what? I don't care if everybody bought one. No, I'm not buying one. And then not only did I have to learn how to not do stupid things with my money, but I also had to learn that where I needed to spend my money was in the areas where people could help me do better. I remember, see, I didn't sacrifice before, and don't y'all act like y'all haven't. I didn't sacrifice to buy something that I didn't need for $1,000, for $1,500, for $2,000, because I was out there keeping up the image and fronting. What I did was, after I did a lifestyle deflation, I literally said, you know what? If I'm going to take a risk with some money, I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to pay somebody or buy something that's going to help me to be able to know what better to do, what more to do. That's when I start buying business programs and paying people. I have coaches too. That's when I start paying for coaching things. Or you can go online now. You can pay for 3-month things, 30-day things. That's when I start paying to get the information for what I didn't know. Because I realized I didn't know. So I said, you know what? And knowledge ain't free either. If you want to know some stuff, you're going to have to pay for it. Knowledge ain't free. You can't just call people up and say, tell me XYZ. That don't work. People are not going to do that. But just like you splurge for them shoes and all that other stuff you don't need, you're going to have to spend some money in areas that are going to help you succeed and help you to learn more, to be better. That means if you got some issues in your life, and this is what a life coach would tell you, if you got some issues in your life and you are now at the point where you are aware, because being self-aware is half the battle too. You got to know when your stuff is raggedy. You got to own that thing. You got to get out of victim mode and blaming everybody for everything that happened to you in your life. You still got choices, and you got to say, look, I got some things that I didn't even realize I've been dealing with all these years, which means if you got to pay to sit on somebody's couch, if you got to pay to talk to somebody to help you work through this stuff, I don't care what you got to do. But when you want to be free, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you giving up some stuff that is going to help you literally get free. Okay? And then last but not least, the dreaded relationships. This is probably the hardest thing for most of us because we have that emotional tie. I don't care. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care if it's your friend that's been your best friend for 20 years. I don't care if it's you can't cut off family, but you can give them 50 feet. I don't care if it's a husband, if it's a wife, if it's a child. I don't care what it is. If you have extremely toxic relationships in your life, you are going to have to pray and say, God, okay, I'm married to this man. I can't divorce him tomorrow, but I need you to show me the steps that I need to take to get free from this. Okay? I got a mama or a family that ain't nothing but they want me to fail. I'm just giving you stuff that I hear all the time. They sucking me dry. They always begging. I'm tired of them. They really want to see me fail. You can't X them out the bloodline, but you can say, God, I need you to. And that's where you might have to move. If all them live somewhere, then you go live somewhere else where they ain't as accessible to you. I need to reposition myself. I need to get where I get them out my pocket. If you got kids that's sucking up all your money and all your time and all your resources, I done seen people cut kids off of many a time and do that. That's a whole different kind of love. I done seen people say, you know what, God, I'm gonna have to leave them in your hands because my kid is not gonna send me to the grave. My kid is not gonna have it where I'm stressed out, my hair falling out, this and that. Some of you all got workers in your businesses that you have allowed to become cancer in your business. I call them cult workers. They cult workers because they don't own. See, cancer spreads, and cancer ain't happy just staying in one place. Cancer will literally, I got to go tell that one and get everybody where they against the owner, and now we all gonna set up where we gonna walk out and I didn't heard, when I say I didn't heard it all, I didn't live through some of this stuff. And when you see that stuff, and a lot of us see it and we don't fix it, that has been my fault in the past. You ain't got to worry about it now. We're done. I don't have no issues with that now. You have got to give up some relationships, and that's going to cost you. That means, okay, you don't get invited to the family reunion no more. Okay, you don't get invited to the parties no more. Okay, so what? You're going to have to give up something. If you in a marriage, which I had to learn, that means if I got to give up something and be like Tina Turner in that movie, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing but my name. Give me my name, my sanity. Give me whatever I got to. I don't care what you got to give up. But freedom ain't free is what I need everybody to get here. People think they say they want to be free, but they ain't willing to give up nothing. I'm going to tell you, you ain't never going to get free from nothing. If you want to get free from drugs, You can't be around the people that do the drugs. That means if you want to get free from drugs, this I haven't experienced, but I know people that have. That means you're gonna have to go through that, what they call it, with the I don't know what they call it, when you're going through shakes and you're going through, and the withdrawals. You're gonna have to go through the pain, the tears, the getting. If you have done something in your life and maybe you had a crime that you committed and now you paying the price for a bad decision you made when you was young, or what we call in your summer, in order to get free and to get past that, that means you're gonna have to sacrifice, maybe working somewhere, getting paid peanuts, just to show that you ain't that person no more. You may have to do that over and over and over again till you are in the position now where now you really free, and God will give you another chance to do what it is that you do. But I'm telling y'all, freedom ain't free. And I hear it. I coach, I don't even know how many people I coach now, a lot. And I coach people, and I have several different coaching groups. Y'all can go on my website, knowledgebynikki.com, and see which ones I got. And I'm coaching all these people, and all I hear all the time is, I'm tired, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, I want to be free from this, I want to be free from that. And it was when I did that video last September 3rd, on Labor Day at 9 o'clock in the morning, that I realized, even though I was free in my mind because I had kept moving and I did what was necessary, but it was a different sense of freedom when I actually talked about it. And I said, you know what? Let me really process, because the reason I'm gonna actually give you one of my favorite authors quotes, John C. Maxwell. If y'all listen to me, I've talked about him 1,000 times. Let me see if I can say it like he says it. He says, wisdom only becomes wisdom when you reflect. Wait, I ain't saying it right. No, insight. He said something about reflection on past struggles and past problems. They only become insight or something. I can't even say it like he says it. When you reflect on it, and therefore it becomes wisdom. Meaning, what he's trying to say, and I'm going to get that quote right, y'all, because it's in many of his books. He's trying to say that even when you go through stuff, if you don't sit back and reflect and literally chronicle, if you have to, write it down, like, I actually did do that, and then I did that, and then I did that, and then it equaled that, and then I did that. If you don't sit down and chronicle and actually process your pain, your fears, your tears, and figure out what it is that you did that you either don't do no more, or if you're trying to be free, it is an intentional process where you gotta either create steps or have someone help you to create steps to get from here to there. If you don't process that, the likeliness of you ending up back in bound situations are very probable. And that is what that day did for me. I realized I went through the process. I intentionally set up this, that, and the other, but I hadn't really processed it mentally. And so what I decided to do was, but I made a decision. I ain't doing nothing twice. Now, I may do something stupid once. I ain't doing it 2 times. So what I decided to do, and the reason I put this on is because I know God is using me. I don't even know why God wants me to talk about all this, but I'm just going with it. And I said, God, I am going to really tell these people step by step. I'm going to be as transparent as I can remember. And I'm going to break down every single thing that I can remember. And I'm going to explain to you what I had to do in order to be free. Let me give you one that I remember well. When I was in my last salon, I'm sorry, not my last salon, my second salon that I had. This was around the time I was going through, this was the worst period in my life. And I'm going to show you something about being focused on being free. And I just told my mother this for the first time yesterday. She had no idea. I said, Mom, I remember I got to the point I didn't care about giving up comfort no more. I didn't care about my image. I didn't care about no position. I had made a decision that I gotta be debt free. And I was done with that relationship and every other relationship that was attached to it. Y'all, I'm done. I don't care. And I remember being so focused on getting financially in a position where I could now 100% support me and all my big dreams, that I remember being in the salon, and it was a young lady, and I obviously won't say her name, but it was a young lady that came in that I 100% knew used to be in relationships, sexual and otherwise, with my ex-husband. And as far as I knew at that time, it could have still been going on. I knew this, guys. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I knew this. I knew it unequivocally. So, of course, the first thing I'm wondering is like, why is she making an appointment with me? Now, mind you, this is a client I had service through the years. I had service for year after year after year. And then, of course, when she was, doing stuff that wasn't cool, she fell off a little bit. I found out about it. Never confronted her with it because that's him. That ain't her. And I remember her calling me back. Now, this was a client that spent money, like real money. Like, you could almost guarantee that every time she came to the shop, she was going to drop about $150. And she was regular every week, minimally $150. And she changed her mind a lot. She'd get a weave one day, take it off, get a different kind of weave, then get some color. And so let me tell you, this is what I mean about it. I ain't saying y'all should do this, but I'm telling you how bad I wanted to be free, how bad I wanted it. And when I say free, I needed the money. I remember she called me, and in my mind, of course, because I'm human, the first thing I said was, I can't believe this girl is calling me. And I didn't say girl either. I can't believe this girl is calling me. But you know what? Instantly, all that popped in my mind was, because she wanted to get back on her regular standings, and all that popped in my mind was, this girl comes week after week. You could set your watch to her. This girl spends $150, $200, $300 every week like it ain't nothing. This girl is willing to do that. You know what I thought about? And this will show you how focused I was. I said, if the girl don't do nothing but come for 6 months, that 6 months will give me a couple grand that I need in order to do what I need to do. Now, I took that girl. She stayed for 6 months or maybe 7. And I think what made her stop coming is I was so cool. I was whatever, because I'm done. That's when you like, I'm done. I really don't care. Get your hair done, pay me, whatever. And that girl, I probably made at least a couple grand off of that girl. And I remember writing it down. I think in that 6-7 months, I made about 6 grand. And the thing was, I think she stopped coming because I think she felt bad. I think because I was so cool, and that devil couldn't sit in my chair no more, knowing that she was on something in the first place. But guess what, guys? That's how bad I wanted to be free. At the time, what I needed was money. And even though that was the devil in disguise, I made sure I didn't say nothing around her that she could do nothing with. I made sure I kept it as professional as I could. I made sure I treated her with respect. And I took her money and I kept it moving. And guess what I did with that money, guys? I had no car at the time. And this was way before Uber. This was when I had met a little cab guy named Frank, because my ex-husband had hid my car, and I met a little cab guy named Frank, and he took me back and forth and did all of this. And guess what, guys? I bought me a car on her dime. You hear me? You hear what I say? I bought me a car on her dime. I ain't mad, but you will do some extreme things. Now, had you asked me before that, I'd have probably said, girl, please. I'd have hung up on her when she called. But you know what? When you are that focused on being free, you sometime can ride through you talk about a fiery furnace or the lion's den. Baby, when you talk about ride through some stuff that you would shock yourself. And I mean, when I say I never ever treated her bad, I treated her, probably loved on her more than even the average client, because I had to press that out. But you know what? I thank her for buying me a car. Hallelujah. I thank her for it. That was a beautiful thing. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. And if you all want to get in, Nikki Transparent, because I'm about to shock you. It's my mother didn't even know that. It's some stuff that I think back like, God, I did that too. But I did a lot because I wanted to be free. I made some decisions, and as they say, for God I live and for God I die. I said, I don't care. I said, whatever I got to do, but I ain't gonna stay here. And you got to get to a point where you say, God, I know my life was meant for more than this. I know this ain't it. I know this ain't the end. I know I got to be able to get past this. And when you get that focus, let me tell you something. You will do whatever it takes, other than a crime. You will do whatever it takes. You will sacrifice your comfort, your position, your lifestyle. You absolutely don't care. I am living proof that I don't care how bad it is. If I could do it, anybody could do it. And I had stuff stacked up against me that people still don't know about. But you know what? I stayed the course, and I am a living testament to that scripture. For in due season you shall reap if you faint not. I sit back now and I just cry in awe, because I'm like, God, I am finally seeing the fruits of my labor. And when I say, I ain't talking about no little bit, I ain't talking about just no grapes and cherries. I'm talking about God opened the floodgates for me and said, you know what? You rolled the tide. You did it well. I love those who despitefully use me. I did all, and I didn't even know that's what I was doing. But I said, God, I just got to stay focused on doing stuff right. I didn't give no extra conversation to stuff that wasn't right. People come, I even had to get to the point where people was coming to me, bringing me stuff that was stuff I probably didn't need to hear. But a lot of y'all got to watch that too. All these people bringing you garbage, thinking, calling themselves looking out for you. You got to protect yourself from that too. First of all, how these people so comfortable talking to you about stuff about me? What were you saying? Because if you let people know what side your bread is buttered on, they are not going to talk about anybody you ride with. People don't talk about nobody in front of me. Ever. Because I'm like, I shut them down. I don't want to hear that. Or unless you want me to tell them. I don't want to hear that. I ain't even got nothing to bring nobody, because people ain't going to talk about none of that stuff in front of me. You got to stand flat-footed on. I don't want to hear that. I had, in order for me to move forward at that cycle in my life, I had to shut that stuff down. I don't want to hear, because all I saw it doing was it's setting me back, because now I'm thinking about it again, and now I'm feeling sad. And I say, when I say God kept a fence around me and he rose up some people who I still am friends with today, and I've had to extend the favor. I've had to now give them what they gave me. And I'm telling you, if y'all want to be free for real, it's going to come with a cost. But it's so worth it. God, is it worth it? I tell people today, I said I wouldn't change nothing. And I mean that. I wouldn't change not one solitary thing for what God has made me. He changed my whole life. He said, no, you was going off on some tangent because you thought you was all that, and I just had to pull the rug from under you and help you understand what life is really about and what purpose really is. And all of us are looking for that. And I thank God I found mine. And I just want to tell you all that you have got to be willing. And it's not easy. I love to use my own life to let you all know that you're not by yourself. You are not going through nothing. What the Bible say, nothing new under the sun. Everything you think you're going through, trust me, somebody went through it worse or multiple times, paid a higher price. But you have to go into whatever you do with the mindset that if I want to be free, it's going to cost me. Because it's going to cost you guys. You cannot get free and pay nothing for it. So if you sick of where you are, and if you sick of what you getting, you got to reach out to me. I coach. I help people. I don't care if it's 30 days, 3 months, 6 months. I got ironclad program. I ain't talking about just talking to you. I'm talking about I give you stuff to do. I walk with you. I have programs all the way from online to one-on-ones. I got everything. Just go on my webpage, knowledgebynikki1k.com, or hit me up. Text me, 1-800-580-8074. But most of all, if you all are really serious and you want to hear the whole story, text me at that line, 800-580-8074, and just put in the box, I want to be free. And I will send you a link so that when I do this, it'll be November 9th from 8 p.m. Is it 7 p.m.? 7 or 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. And I'm doing it in Las Vegas. And I'm doing it in front of an audience. And it is literally called Nikki Transparent. And I'm going to share some things with y'all that some people still don't know. The cat going to be all the way out the bag that day. And I'm going to not just tell you, I'm going to break down exactly what I did to get from here to there, to there, to there, because it required me to do this intentionally. Growth is intentional. You can't grow on accident. And even if something happens to you on accident, you got to step back and say, okay, what did I do so I can get here? Because you want to stay there. If you want to stay, maintaining is harder than acquiring. Y'all know that? It's harder to maintain something than it is to get it. Maintaining it is where the work comes in. You know, I'm going to leave y'all with this. There's a book, and me and my personal assistant, Stephanie Cambridge out in Nashville, I tell her every time I talk to her, she's God's gift to me. I had her read a book by Henry Cloud called Necessary Endings. When I say this book will change your life, I read about 5 times. She says she keep going back, reading it again. It is a book, and can't nobody say it like him, about what you have to do to be free. And it's called Necessary Endings. And y'all get the book, get the audio book. It's beyond phenomenal. The book is amazing. And this book will start you on the path to understanding what being free is going to require of you. It's going to require you to cut some stuff off, guys. It's going to require you to literally walk away from some stuff, sometimes abruptly, literally. It's going to require you to do that. It's going to require you to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. And be done, for real. It's going to require you to spend some money. Sometimes some money you really ain't got. It's going to require you to do some things radical. So all I could do is say this to you is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be free? So y'all hit me up. I hope to share my story with you all on that day, November 7th from 8 to 11. I really would love for you all to come to the conference. I got, I think, maybe 18 seats left total. Praise God for that. And it's November 9th through 11th. And you can go on knowledgebynikki.com. And I think I got a couple seats. I think I got some seats left on there, and then I keep some for when I go to shows. But I think I still even got payment arrangements, guys. So it's 3 days. You also, with your ticket, you get hotel and you get breakfast and lunch, guys. You know that don't happen. You get hotel, breakfast, and lunch. So this is something that I would love for you all to be a part of. It's changed my life. I know it will change yours. This is a business conference for the salon industry, so it ain't about no hair. We got that. Talent is easy. We can do hair, but what we can't do is run these businesses. We don't even know that. We don't even realize that it is a business. This ain't just where you play beauty shop. You got real bills, real people to manage. You got real world stuff you got to deal with, and just doing hair and going and taking the next trichology class ain't gonna help you run your business. Just going and finding a way to do more labor is not going to help you run your business. Your business is going to start running better when you learn how to do less. And that's another book I want y'all to read by Gregory McKeown called Essentialism. Another excellent book where he teaches you about how to do less for more. It's an excellent book. Those are my 2 recommendations. Y'all read them. And then, no, let me give you 3. Then John Maxwell's latest book called Leader Shift. It is by far the best book he's ever written. Those 3 books, read them. They'll change your world. That's Essentialism by Gregory McKeown. That's Necessary Endings by Henry Cloud. And that's Leader Shift. They got them in audio too if you do audio books. And that's Leader Shift, which is by John C. Maxwell. So I'm getting ready to get up out of here, guys. I'm actually on my way to one of my vendors to pick up my bags for my conference. So I love you all. I thank God for allowing me to have the platform for people to listen. And let me say this. I thank you all who send me texts, emails, you leave me voicemails all the time just to let me know how the things that I'm doing and what it's doing for you in your life. It is, I mean, I don't do it for that reason. I really don't. But I do love the fact that I do see God is using me to help people. That I tell people all the time, I just want to move the needle. I'm a change agent. That's what I am. I just want to be part of the change. I may not ever see the change get to where I want it to be, but that's where the word a just cause came from. When you find a just cause, something worth fighting, something worth dying, something worth giving everything you got to, more times than not, anybody that's found that in their life, we didn't live to see it actually come into fruition. But that's what keeps you driven, is because it's something that it's a just cause. It's something worth almost do it for free, worth fighting, worth dying. It's something that you stand flat-footed on. It's something that you can't fake. The passion is real. And I thank God for the lessons, the gift of now being able to pass that on to other people, because when I was going through it, y'all, I was like, this sucks, God. I remember saying, God, if this is a test, could I really have it on paper? Because this is too much. I remember feeling like, God, how much more can a person handle? But that scripture about God won't put more on you than you can bear, that is the truth, guys. And I thank God for showing me what I was made of. I thank God for stretching me and showing me that I ain't no punk, and showing me that I can actually take some darts, y'all. As you go higher in your life and God gives you more, you're gonna have to be able to take more. You're gonna have to be able to take more hits. You're gonna have to be able to take more gut punches and more betrayal and more things that just happen with people, and you're gonna have to be able to handle that and still move forward. And the only way, I hate to say it, for most of us to learn is we gotta go through the fire, y'all. Ain't no other way to get it. Okay, but I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I'm almost here. But just remember, guys, freedom ain't free. God bless you all, and I just look forward to assisting you with your shift. Talk to you later.